I'm standing in the kitchen of my little apartment this morning, making coffee in a pot I've had for 30 years, and I keep thinking about another kitchen. A bigger kitchen with windows that looked out over 3 acres of oak trees and a garden that took me 20 years to get just right. That kitchen was in a house I'll never see again, and some days that's harder to accept than the divorce itself. I'm Eleanor, and I'm 78 years old. And 3 years ago, I lost the house I thought I'd die in. Not to a fire or a flood or a financial crisis, but to a marriage that fell apart after 41 years. Let me tell you what that was like, because losing a home in a divorce isn't just about dividing assets. It's about watching the life you built get reduced to legal documents and moving trucks. Robert and I bought that house in 1982. We were 41 and 39, and our kids were 13 and 11. We'd been living in a cramped 3-bedroom colonial in town, and we were desperate for space. Space for the kids to run, space for Robert's workshop, space for me to finally have the garden I'd been dreaming about since we were newlyweds. The house was a 1920s farmhouse on Millfield Road, about 10 minutes outside of town. 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and a kitchen that was the heart of everything. The previous owners had started renovating but never finished, so we got it for $68,000. A steal, even back then. We spent the next 20 years making that house ours. Robert gutted the master bathroom and put in a clawfoot tub. I designed the kitchen renovation myself. White cabinets, butcher block counters, and a big farmhouse sink that I'd seen in a magazine. We added a deck off the back, converted the attic into a reading room, and turned the basement into a proper workshop where Robert could build furniture. The garden was my pride and joy. I planted perennials along the front fence, put in raised beds for vegetables, and created a little herb garden right outside the kitchen door. Every spring, I'd spend weeks planning what to plant where, and every fall, I'd be out there dividing plants and preparing beds for winter. Our kids grew up in that house. Sarah learned to drive in our long gravel driveway. Michael built tree forts in the oak trees out back. We hosted Thanksgiving for my entire extended family for 15 years running, 23 people around tables we'd set up in the living room and dining room. The house held our whole life. Birthday parties and graduations, Christmas mornings and Easter egg hunts, school projects spread across the kitchen table, teenagers coming and going at all hours. When the kids left for college and then got married and moved away, that house held our empty nest years too. Quiet dinners for 2, morning coffee on the deck, the satisfaction of finally having time to really tend the garden. I thought we'd grow old there together. I'd pictured us in our 80s, maybe hiring someone to help with the yard work, maybe adding a ramp to the front steps. I never pictured what actually happened. The divorce wasn't sudden. It had been building for years, maybe decades. We'd grown apart so gradually that I didn't realize how far apart we'd become until it was too late to find our way back to each other. Robert had his workshop and his projects. I had my garden and my volunteer work. We were like polite roommates sharing a house, not like partners sharing a life. When Sarah suggested counselling, we tried it for about 6 months. But you can't counsel your way back to being in love with someone you've forgotten how to talk to. The counsellor helped us realise that staying married wasn't helping either of us become the people we wanted to be in our final decades. The house was our biggest asset and our biggest problem. We'd put so much work into it, so much of ourselves. The property was worth about $420,000 by then. We couldn't afford to buy each other out, and neither of us wanted to be the one who stayed. Too many memories, too much history in every room. The mediator explained our options. We could sell the house and split the proceeds, or one of us could keep it and refinance to buy out the other's share. But at our age, banks weren't interested in giving either of us a mortgage big enough to make that work. I remember the day we decided to sell. We were sitting at the kitchen table, the same table where we'd made so many family decisions over the years. And Robert said, "Maybe it's time to let someone else love this house the way we did." I started crying right there, and for the first time in months, he reached across the table and held my hand. We listed the house in March 2021. The market was crazy then. Houses selling in days, people making offers sight unseen. We had 12 showings the first weekend and 4 offers by Monday morning. We accepted an offer for $450,000 from a young family with 3 children. Packing up 24 years of life was harder than I expected. Every closet held memories. Every drawer had something that told a story. I found love letters Robert had written me when we were dating, report cards from when the kids were in elementary school, recipes I'd clipped from magazines and never tried. We divided everything as fairly as we could. Robert took his tools and workshop equipment. I took most of the kitchen things and all the gardening tools. We argued over some things. Who should get the antique dining room set? What to do with the Christmas decorations we'd collected over the decades. But mostly, we were just sad. Sad to be taking apart something we'd built together. Sad to be starting over in our 70s. The closing was on a Thursday in May. After we signed all the papers, Robert and I drove to the house one last time. The new owners weren't moving in for a few days, so it was empty. We walked through each room, remembering. The spot in Sarah's bedroom where we'd measured her height every birthday. The corner of the living room where our Christmas tree always stood. The kitchen where I'd made thousands of meals for our family. I said goodbye to my garden that day. The tulips I'd planted 15 years earlier were in full bloom. The herb garden was just starting to show green shoots. I'd left detailed instructions for the new owners about which plants needed dividing, when to prune the fruit trees, how to care for the rose bushes along the back fence. Robert and I hugged in the driveway before we got in our separate cars. After 41 years of marriage, that's how it ended, with a hug and a promise to take care of ourselves. I moved into a 2-bedroom apartment in a senior community. It's nice enough. Modern kitchen, decent-sized living room, a little patio where I keep container plants. Robert bought a condo across town. We're both fine, financially speaking. The house sale gave us each enough money to live comfortably for the rest of our lives. But here's what they don't tell you about losing your family home in a divorce. You don't just lose the house. You lose your place in the world. You lose the spot where your life made sense, where your story felt complete. I drive by the old house sometimes when I'm heading to the grocery store. The new family has painted it yellow. It was white when we lived there. They've added a playground set in the backyard and planted sunflowers along the front fence. It looks happy and lived in, the way it should look. The hardest part isn't missing the house itself. It's missing the person I was in that house. The woman who knew where every tool was kept, who could tell you which corner of the garden got morning sun, who could navigate the basement storage room in the dark. That woman belonged somewhere. This woman is still figuring out where she belongs. But you know what I've learned in these 3 years? Home isn't just a place you live. It's a feeling you carry with you. Some days, when I'm making coffee in my little apartment kitchen, I remember making coffee in that farmhouse kitchen. And for just a moment, I feel at home again. Not because I miss the house, but because I remember who I was when I felt completely myself. Robert and I are friendly now. We see each other at family gatherings, and we text occasionally about practical things. He seems happy in his condo. I'm learning to be happy in my apartment. We were better at being married than we were at being divorced. But we're both better at being apart than we were at being together those last few years. The divorce took our house, but it gave us something too. The chance to figure out who we are when we're not trying to hold together something that was already broken. That's worth something. even if it's not worth a 4-acre garden and a farmhouse kitchen with morning light streaming through hand-sewn curtains. If you're facing the loss of a home for any reason, divorce, financial troubles, family changes, maybe this will help. The building doesn't hold all your memories. You do. The life you built in that place, the love you put into those rooms, the care you took with that garden, that's all still yours. No legal document can take that away. If this story reminds you of your own experiences with homes and heartbreak, I'd love to hear about it. Share this with someone who might need to be reminded that starting over isn't the same as giving up. And tell me in the comments, how do you define home now that you're older? Is it the place you live or the feeling you carry with you? Sometimes these conversations help us all figure out that home might be more portable than we think.